We're recording now.
Okay.
Butt sex.
Butt sex.
Butt sex.
I didn't get it on. No, I did well enough that I got a hero. What?
All right, so Ian, Derek, and Eric here from Sleep Deprivation doing our very first podcast. We're talking.
Yeah.
Wait, we're not calling this podcast. What the fuck are we doing? Right, it's called SD Talks. Yeah, SD Talks. All right,
Is that what we're calling it?
It's where we talk about stuff as opposed to doing gameplay. Today we're going to be talking about Smite, and we're going to be talking about our favorite mages. So we're going to go through our top 3 favorite mages for each of us, and then discuss, why we like it, and then give each other the opportunity to either agree or say your opinion fucking sucks. Go die. So it's also going to be slightly in relation to the different game modes that we primarily play. Eric primarily plays Conquest. I primarily play Joust. Derek primarily plays against bots.
You have the right to remain.
So Derek's opinion doesn't matter. But actually, I don't know what he actually plays because we never fucking know. But
I play everything because, I don't know, primarily I play Joust, Arena, and Assault. I will play Conquest occasionally if I have more than just me playing. But if it's just me playing by myself, those are the games I usually play.
So basically, our opinions will be based off of the game modes, or they'll be heavily influenced, at least by the game modes we primarily play. So with that being said, Eric, why don't you start off with your number 3 favorite?
Number 3 favorite.
Oh, and I would like to clarify that favorite does not necessarily mean our best, but how good we are with them is probably going to influence it. It's more
How fun it is to us to play them.
exactly, yeah.
Third favorite mage for me would be Scylla.
Ooh, good call.
Scylla, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I like Scylla because, her clear is absolute dicks at the beginning of every game mode, no matter what you play, whether it be Arena, Joust, Conquest. It doesn't fucking matter. She sucks early game. But if, and I mean if, you can get her to late game, she can one-shot anybody.
Yeah, her ult is probably one of the most devastating abilities in the game if it actually lands.
Oh yeah.
Her ult, and plus the fact that she can time her ult so efficiently, it can be used in a wombo combo with countless people.
Yeah.
The Nazah Scylla wombo combo is the most deadly thing I've seen.
It's also pretty... Najah is pretty gnarly with a lot of fucking wombo combos. But,
Also-
Ares Scylla is nasty.
A new favorite relic, on a side note, to pick for Scylla is Blink.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. It's been done in the SPL a few times recently, and it just destroys. It tears. If you can do it properly, it will tear up everybody.
Now, with this being said, I don't know if you've gotten better with her recently, but every time I see you play her, just horrible things happen and you die.
The big thing with Scylla is you need peel, which we know you can't do for shit.
I can peel if I
No,
want
you really
to. I just don't
fucking
play
can't.
gods that peel.
And the other big problem with Scylla is if she dies at all in the early game before getting, I would say, her top 3 items online, she kind of just loses all steam and rolls over and dies.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
So.
I should probably just clarify a couple things. Most of the people that are probably watching this are probably fans of Smite, but we're going to be throwing around a lot of terminology. So just to clarify things, a couple things. So peel, Eric, if you want to explain what peel is, because some people...
Yeah. So what peel is basically is, so if you're a mage or a hunter, a lot of the tankier warriors or junglers will try to kill you. So when you want peel, you rely on your warriors and your guardians, and sometimes your junglers, to help get the enemies off of you.
Yep.
Whether that be through silences, slows, stuns, whatever.
There you go.
And wombo combo, Derek.
Wombo combo is simply, it doesn't have to be ultimates, but is often when you get more than one god using their ultimate at the same time to help do devastating damage. And the classic one is when Ares grabs people with his chains and he pulls them all together, and then you get somebody like Zeus or Scylla or Poseidon that has an area of effect that uses it on that area right where Ares pulls them in, and that's considered a wombo combo.
And that's the other point I was going to mention is with Scylla, like without wombo combos or setups for her ultimate, it's extremely hard to guess where an enemy is going to go because it does have such a long wind-up time, and they do know where you're going to place it.
But the fun thing about it is that if she does kill one person, then she gets to continue moving with it and then kill another person. Also, look at the fucking damage on that. 800 plus 120% of your magical power, which, if you're building a shit ton of magical power, that's easily doing like 1,500 plus damage.
I don't see why you wouldn't. And with Scylla, for every ability that she gets mastered, she gets an additional like 20 magical power or something like that for every ability that gets to full level. Her passive is gnarly.
Her passive basically means at max level she gets a bonus 80 power, which is practically a full item.
As well as like each ability gains an extra kind of added bonus. Yeah, like her number one, which is a root, instead of just rooting one person, can root up to 3.
3, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3.
And her number 2, like at max rank, enemies in the area also have their magical protection reduced, and targets hit by the damage are slowed for an additional 1 second, which is horrifying, because fuck that shit.
If you're in the middle of it, you're basically going to die.
Seconds feel like minutes sometimes in MOBA.
It really does.
Also, her retreat with the Sentinel is really fucking safe. Like, she's got a good, safe escape as well.
As well as it becomes a giant ward at max rank.
Yeah, you can use it to check if people are there.
But in the aspect of saving time, I think we can agree Scylla's awesome. She's fun if she gets the good wombo combo setup. And while she's really difficult to use, that doesn't change the fact that she's fun to use. All right, moving on. So, Derek, what is your number 3? I'm definitely not trying to stall while I figure out what the fuck my 3 is.
My number 3, he's good in all game modes. I play him. I love him the most probably in Assault, but I have played him in all game modes, and I've been successful in every game modes. I like Kronos.
Yes.
Kronos.
Yes. Okay. For 2 reasons primarily. Number 1, you can play Kronos like a mage, or you can play him like a hunter, and he's he's good either way. And 2, he's got really, really good sustain. Because with his ultimate being able to go back in time and stuff, that gives him so much sustain. If you're in a team fight, say that he gets damaged in a team fight, he just uses that, and then he's like getting a guy with full health. Well, in the middle of a team fight, everybody's already lost half of their health already. And the reason he's so good in Assault is because you just don't die with him.
And that's, once again, in terms of terminology, sustain basically refers to a god being able to either replenish their own health or find ways to make up for the fact that if they lose hit points, they can like gain them back. So his ultimate brings him back in time, so when he loses a bunch of health and uses his ultimate, he goes back to the health he was at before. Plus, with his passive Wheel of Time, one of those actually can regenerate his health. So he has a way to regenerate his own health as well.
As well as with the ultimate, it does reset all cooldowns. So the best combination with that to do is to actually use all of your abilities, followed by your ultimate, which will then reset all your cooldowns, allow you to use them again. So not only can you use his ult for defense, you can use it aggressively as well.
Also,
yes, I was just gonna say that. Like, if you're chasing down a guy, you can go into a tower, dive him, and kill him, and then use your ult and get back out and be full health, ready to go. Like, it's awesome.
Also, if you build items like Polynomicon on him, in particular, it's horrifying with him just because of the way he works with his auto attacks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. One downside I know I find to Kronos is, like, you have, especially come late game, like, the ult is very powerful. However, if you don't time it properly, you will die.
Yeah,
so it's a very high risk.
He doesn't really, he's got good sustain, but he doesn't really have an escape with the exception of his ultimate. Yes, his Wheel of Time gives him this quick speed boost so you can try to run away.
Yeah, through
but he doesn't
accelerate.
Yeah, but he doesn't have like a teleport or anything like that, or a leap to get him out of there. But he can stun people, and with his
Stop time.
stop time. That's right.
Yeah, that one's fun. Do you guys? I don't know if you guys know this, but I just recently found out when you activate his 2, auto attacking makes him go faster.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That is
which
awesome.
is one of the reasons why he is a devastating ADC, because if you use Accelerate combined with, what is it, Section 4, with the 35% magical power contribution to basic attacks, he's chasing them down, and it's basically like he's got Hasten Fatalis active without having Hasten Fatalis. It's horrifying. So, definitely fun. Difficult to use, though. Like, if...
He's a harder god to be good with.
Yeah.
So, I guess moving on to my third favorite god, I'm gonna have to actually go with. It's fun, but it's not necessarily. I like Nox.
Ooh, yes.
Oh yeah. I think she's way higher up there, but that's just me.
I was going to pick. I was actually, you know what? I was gonna put Hebo on this initially, but I haven't played him in a while. As fun as he is, I haven't been playing him as much anymore, so I gotta take him off there. So it's gonna be Nox. Nox is my number 3 most favorite to play right now.
She is ridiculously retarded to play against.
The reason why I like her is more so in a joust situation, because you've got that support. She's really good at, like, her number 2. Even if you don't kill anyone with it, it's just a good fuck up because it silences. Not to mention it does a ton of damage, but she basically has her own built-in wombo combo with a fucking silence, siphon, darkness that does a ton of damage. So once they're silenced, then she's your number 1, locks them down, and it just explodes, and it'll, at mid to late game, it basically is one-shotting people. Like, if she catches you in that, you're dead. Unless you've built the appropriate, like, magic defense. Like, and even if you just have one magic defense item, she'll still sometimes kill you. Like, she'll be like, what's that? You have Bulwark? No, you're dead. I don't give a fuck.
And then if you try to run away from her, she'll just kill you with her fucking Hadoken blast that she shoots out.
Oh god, you had fucking Night Terror ultimate. Her passive is kind of lame in the fact that if she takes any damage at all, it just gets reset.
Yeah, dude, you can't do camps alone as Nox unless you're like late game and can one-shot them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, if she misses her number 2, she's effectively useless. Like, she's basically like, oh, I missed, I gotta dash back and wait for these abilities to come back up. So she's basically like, do her 2 and 1, and then if it misses, she's gotta wait till they're off cooldown again before she's any sort of useful at all. But
that being said, though, I really like her dash, how you can go into gods.
Oh.
So, like, if you're, like, in the middle of, like, a team fight, you use whatever, your silence and stuff, and say if you miss or something, or one of your abilities doesn't connect, you dash into a god, and then you explode out, and so then, like, that instantly gives your teammate that advantage.
Or
here's the best thing that I actually see about that is Odin ult can be devastating for Nox because she doesn't have a natural escape to get out of it. But if she dashes into, say, the tank that's stuck in there, or someone that can escape out of it, then she dashes into them, they escape out of it, then she releases, she's out of the Odin ult.
Or if you're a lazy bastard like me, you can, as someone's backing, dash into them just before they back, and you get a free back.
God fucking damn it, you lazy fuck.
It's just so convenient because you could be like fighting, and then as your teammate is just finishing his back, you just hop in there.
All right, but yeah, she's really powerful. She's fun. She has an obvious weakness in that if she misses her shit, or if she catches one person in, and then another one of their allies just comes up and fucks your face in because your abilities are on cooldown. She's annoying, but I feel like she's balanced.
Yes, she's actually one of the most balanced gods I think there is.
Except for the fact that now her dash has a 90% scaling.
No, it's not 90, it's 70.
Is it 70?
It's 70. They were going to make it 90, which is stupid, but it's 70. With that being said, that doesn't matter when Siphon Darkness is 100% and will just annihilate your fucking face. It's so stupid.
Plus the 20% off of Shadow Lock, yeah.
But Eric, you're number 2. Let's go for that.
See, I was gonna say Chronos, but I have a few secondaries.
No, you can say fucking Chronos.
No,
like, just acknowledge the fact that it is that.
Actually, there's someone more recent that I've been playing, who I know you hate with a filthy passion. Giannis, or Janus.
Janus.
AKA the master of fuck you, I never die, because I can walk through walls.
Oh, God, that is so annoying when you're about to kill him. Especially
It's
if
the
you've got him
greatest
trapped.
feeling.
Well, if you've got him trapped in a fucking Odin ult, and then just a hint of the Odin ult is right next to a wall. Oh, that's it. I'm out of the fucking wall. Bye.
Yeah.
But he does have, situationally, depending on how you use it, one of the best ultimates in the game.
Oh, yeah, you can
Especially,
bring a whole team over.
Not as much in Joust, but in Conquest, you can rotate your entire team from one lane to another using his ult.
I'm going to make a recommendation for anybody here who's watching this or listening to this who watches the SPL. Watch Enemy and watch Chaos. Chaos has the most terrifying Giannis I have ever seen. He will hit 4 people in one ult. And take
Enemy lost the game they weren't supposed to lose. Like, they lost to like a dirtbag team.
Yeah.
And he got so mad. He went 13-0, and he was the only person on their team that got kills.
Yep, and they took 2 Phoenixes at 15 minutes.
He was so mad.
He was pissed. He got a double, a triple, then a quadra. It was awesome.
Oh, also, if you hit someone like at a really far range, then his ult does a stupid amount of damage.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to state the most obvious weakness with Giannis is his 2. So his 2 is Unstable Vortex, and what it does is it weaves in and out. So it basically, if you're really close to minions, it'll hit it when you first release it, then it'll arch out, come back in, hit again, and then it'll arch out and come back in for a 3rd time.
Now,
I'll be the first to admit, there is like a 50% chance I will fucking miss that on a minion wave and just hate myself.
No, the worst is it can do one of 2 things to an enemy, though. It can miss an enemy, or sometimes if you get really lucky, or unlucky if you're playing against them like I am, you get hit by it twice and die.
I don't think I've ever had that happen.
I've had it hit me twice. I'm like, this one spell hit me twice, and I got one shot.
I think you're the only person who can get hit by a Giannis 2 twice. I don't think I've ever heard of that happening.
But another thing about him is that, like, with that being able to miss as well, he, as most mages, he may have an escape with this portal, but if he's away from a fucking wall, he's vulnerable.
Yeah.
So that's his weakness. So he's annoying, but he's still balanced in that aspect.
Yeah.
I know I said that the Hadoken works for Nox, but I think Janus, like, you just picture, like, you know, when...
That's fucking Kamehameha, I think.
No.
Yeah,
it was a steady beam.
They don't call it Spirit Gun for a reason.
So what you do is, like picture, like, Ryu from Street Fighter, and Ian, if you can insert this clip somehow.
Nope.
Just doing, like, his ultimate thing where he yells it and screams it, and, like, a big beam comes out.
Yeah.
That sound effect... But with Giannis doing his ultimate, just anytime you hear, like, trust me, it lines up perfectly every time.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that at all. Fuck.
I will do that. I could do
But, as with that being said, as awesome as we are saying he is, as evidenced by the lovely statistics I am showing right now, I've gone 1 in fucking 18 with Janice, so I have a win percentage of dicks. And I have a .68 KD with him. I don't know what it is. And I feel like I'm not even doing that bad with him, but just whenever I get on him, shit just doesn't happen, and I get fucked.
It's because...
He's my bad luck god. Like,
yeah.
I don't even remember that one win, so I don't know where it happened. I thought I'd lost every game with him.
Mine's actually getting a lot better. I've won 28, and I've won 28 or 21, lost 38. Fuck. Although on the recent matches, it's all losses.
Yeah, I have no recent history with him because I basically was like, fuck it. Oh, and
Okay.
how I mastered him is I literally I had to play 15 games. 15 fucking games just to master him. Which means I got 3 or fucking 4 goddamn worshippers every fucking game.
Yeah, no, he's definitely, he's an easy god to play well. He's a really hard god to play amazingly.
Alright, but moving on. Janus is awesome, has his own weaknesses. Clearly, we're not great with it. But he's fun.
Yeah.
So, Derek, your number 2.
My number 2 is going to be the KKK, or Kukulkan. For 2 reasons. One, because he's extremely powerful. And 2, because he has the Serpentsworth skin.
I love that skin.
Which one?
Serpentsworth the 4th Esquire. That's just
Oh god, I don't have that one. Yeah.
It's like the greatest. It's one of the greatest skins in the world.
tied with Lord Slashington.
Yes.
Lord Slashington.
Fenrir.
Okay, whatever. But anyways,
Fancy skins.
2 things about him that I want to point out real quick. First of all, Derek, what was the first god you really played a lot of?
The first god I played a lot of?
Yeah.
Zeus?
Because I know the first god Eric and I both mainly played was Kukulkan. Except I think back then he was referred to as Ao Kwang. And he had this horrible thing he would say when he first got in there, or first got in the game, and I think it's a horrible pun, but I love it. Because he was like the god of storms or whatever, and it's like, he said, "We'll take them by storm." And interesting thing though is if you are playing Kukulkan and you have the Sacred Dragon skin, he will still have the old voice pack of Ao Kwang from when he was back being Ao Kwang. So it's interesting that they changed that god and just renamed it Kukulkan. But yeah, like I don't know why they did that. But it was more to accurately represent the gods or something like that. But
yeah.
One of the reasons why he's so incredible is his passive. His passive increases his magical power by 5% of his maximum mana, which is basically like
Book of Thoth.
Book of Thoth
on steroids.
So basically, all you have to do is, and I'm going to pull up the item here to show people. But Book of Thoth, what it does, first of all, gives you a fuck ton of mana. You get 125 mana just from the item itself, and then another 750 mana from the stacks. And you get 3% of your mana is converted into magical power. When you combine that with his 5%, that's 8% of his mana is magical power. And you get like almost 900 mana just from the item.
Yeah.
So the item gives you 100 magical power, and then almost gives you an additional 80 power just from that item. Yeah. Not to mention what other mana he gets.
Yeah. Now, don't do what I did and read that and go, oh, so that means I should build all mana items on him and ignore the fact that I need, penetration and any sort of
the
other items.
The benefit of him is because he gets such a power boost from that, he actually can afford to go for more pen items or other items, like one that is actually really interesting for him to get. And I'm just going to pull it up on here real quick because I don't remember the name of it. God, where the fuck is penetration? All right. It is actually Spear of the Magus, because one of his abilities is Tornado. It hits multiple times, and it gives him a shit ton of penetration on Spear of the Magus. Now, you don't generally build it all the time, but it's a fun little item that's inexpensive that can get you a lot of penetration early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the obvious, for me, the reason I don't play Kukulkan anymore, one, it seems like as soon as you pick him, everyone's like, oh, hey, free farm. Yeah. And when I say farm, I mean it's an easy way to level up very quickly in the game, because he does have an ability called Slipstream, which does give him a slight speed boost. But when you're fighting like a Neja or a Thor or an Awilix or really anybody, who has movement speed in their kit, you're kind of boned.
Yeah, if an assassin gets the drop on you, like, at all, you're kind of screwed with that. Like, you can maybe cast your tornado or get lucky and hit him with your ultimate, and it'll probably kill him depending on how late the game is. But you have to get kind of lucky, because somebody like Loki who stabs you and hits you from behind and stuns you for that second, ooh.
His ultimate, once again, is very similar to
Silas?
what is it, Silas, in that it hits just as hard, but it has a long wind-up time. It's easy to dodge.
A longer wind-up time.
A longer wind-up time. But if you wombo combo it, he's horrifying. Also, his whirlwind, it does a ton of damage late game. Like, if you step into it, even just for a second, you're half health. But with his slipstream being the last ability that you're going to level up as him, and if it's not the last ability, then you're stupid because you're losing your damage.
Yeah.
He is horrifying.
Okay, now I want to ask a quick question because I know I level up. I'm pretty sure I level up differently than you guys. What do you max first? Your 1 or your 3?
My 3.
Okay. See, I max my 1 because of the amount of damage it does, as well as the slow.
The slow is already 30%. I max his 3 because it's more beneficial for a team fight as well as wave clear.
Which one's the gust? That 3?
Yeah.
You got it. Okay, on Xbox, we use like A, X, B, and Y, so it's different.
Are you talking? Which one?
It's the one where you put a giant fucking tornado.
Yeah,
I got that. That's the one I max first.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're both situationally good, which is one of the interesting things. You can level different abilities first depending on your situation. Like, let's say you're going up against someone that's going to be chasing you a lot, and farm isn't your main concern. Your main concern is making sure this guy doesn't fuck your face. Then get your number 1 first. But if it's like, hey, you're in the solo lane, you need to be able to have a lot of wave clear. That's one of the biggest advantages of him, is just being able to clear that wave and apply a lot of pressure. Okay.
Or, as I like to say it, throw the tornado down, walk away.
Yeah.
Oh, look, my wave's gone.
Speaking of stupid wave clear, Loki's wave clear is the dumbest in the game because he can literally just put it down, walk away, and doesn't have to worry about taking any damage. But moving on, he is a fun god. It's in a 1v1 situation, it's hard to actually land your abilities. Like, it's annoying to have to walk around them, but his abilities are kind of predictable, and his escape is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But all around, he's a good god.
Except for that 1v1, right, Ian?
I still beat you.
Yeah, but I fucked your face pretty hard.
He still beat you.
Yeah.
I still beat you.
I mean, it's Loki versus... It's an assassin
We can roll the clip if you want.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna say you won.
Yeah.
He still beat you.
I'm pretty sure I can,
I can pull it up on my phone and look, but I think he beat you.
We're gonna say you won.
I think I did beat you. I think I was killing you repeatedly over and over again.
I think at the end of the game, he was giving you the butt sex, and you were just taking it.
Yeah, I think that was the case.
Again, one-shot Loki versus mage who needs setup. Just saying.
Anyways, he's awesome. Moving on to my number 2. And as I mentioned, I was originally going to throw Hebo in the mix because I used to play a lot of him, and he's fun to be the little 2-shot god. He's annoying as fuck, but I just don't play him anymore, so he's not someone I really see myself playing a lot of. My number 2 is Poseidon.
Ooh. I like him.
Now, Poseidon is, honestly, he's like Kukulkan in a lot of ways in the fact that he has good wave clear, except he's a little bit safer. Because, Kukulkan, if you charge him as a mage, fuck it, or being as an assassin or whatever, you're just going to kill him. And he might get lucky and hit you with an ult. If you charge Poseidon, he will get you with an ult, and you will probably die. Because he has his own built-in wombo combo into his own fucking kit, which is Whirlpool, because it's a cripple, which what that means is that you can't use escape abilities or movement abilities while you're within his Whirlpool. And it slows you, and it tries to pull you in towards the center. So if he places that down, and then places his ultimate, which is his Kraken...
Release the Kraken!
you're stuck in there and you can't get out of it, and basically the only thing you can do is use Sanctuary.
Yeah, or beads.
Or beads to move out of it, but regardless, it's a nasty combination, which means he doesn't really need other people to set up that wombo combo. So it's a very easy ultimate to hit. It's also a very devastating one in that if you get them in the center of it, it's not going to do as much damage as Scylla's or Kukulkan's, but it's still going to do a lot of damage. And it does a little bit of a stun as well.
Mm-hmm.
It knocks him in the air, so it's a knock-up. It's not quite a stun as well.
That with a Wheelix is annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
For those of you who don't know, a Wheelix's ult takes people that are in the air, pulls them out of the air towards them, and gives her a power boost. So you get hit by his knock-up, and then pull towards you, and then you're guaranteed dead. And if they fuck that up, then they're horrible, and they should just uninstall. But the reason why he's a lot safer as well is that, say someone's trying to get on him, his Whirlpool can slow him down and cripple them. He has built-in movement speed with his passive. He gets movement speed with his number 2 ability, which is his Trident.
And he's got knockback.
And he's got a knockback with his Tidal Surge. Like, he's got a lot of ways to get away without actually having a dash.
I mean, attack speed Poseidon is a deadly combination.
He's actually pretty good at taking out towers.
He is. If you build Hasten Fatalis on Poseidon, oh my god, it hurts.
And it's just annoying because he can just get away from a lot of shit. So he's a very fun god, and he's a lot safer than Kukulkan, and his ultimate's a lot easier to hit, so he's a lot more rewarding to play because you're gonna get a lot more kills. And he's great in team fights. He's really good in team fights.
On a side note, if you miss the Kraken, you feel like the biggest piece of shit in the world.
Everyone makes fun of you, and you cry, and then you go and you get kicked out of your house, and then you're finding yourself living in a van down by the river.
I was actually going to say you pull an Eric and you cry, and then you masturbate using your own tears as lubricant.
Hey man, that works.
Oh, that's good. All right.
I think we need to keep moving on. Get to our number ones here.
Number 1, Eric. What is your number 1 favorite mage?
Now, if we were talking about best gods, I would 100% be decided. But this god not only has an escape, not only does an insane amount of damage, but rains hell from the skies.
I think I know who you're talking about here.
Agni!
Agni, god of fire.
He has, and not to mention, he has the best analogy of any god in this game. He has the Gyarados complex.
What?
Okay, let me explain. So, the thing with the Gyarados complex is, pre-level 5, he's not that scary. You're like, okay, he has a little bit of wave clear, he has a dash, whatever. And he has a short-range stun. He hits 5, he gets his ultimate, which is he basically shoots meteors at you from the sky. That allows him to basically become the most terrifying god in the game. In a point of if you don't know where he is, you don't know if you're going to be alive or not.
And his range on his Rain of Fire is horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
It hits you so far away. Like, you'll be out of range, and nope, he's in range. And if he combines that with his Noxious Fumes, which you can do easily, you can launch the Rain of Fire first, then do your Noxious Fumes right before the Rain of Fire lands on the area, and it'll get stunned. And it may look like, yeah, it's a big area, but it takes a while to land. No, you're not going to get out of it. He's going to hit you.
Unless you dash out of it, you're not getting out of it.
Yeah, it's fast enough that it's going to hit you, and then he stuns, and then he dashes forward, hits you with Path of Flames, and you're like, well, shit, I'm dead. Or, if you're about to catch him, his escape dash is one of the most... Not Path of Flames. His Path of Flames catches up with you, and then his Flame Wave is the one that hits you. But if he uses his Path of Flames to escape, it's one of the safest escapes in the game, because it's so fast. It doesn't matter if there's something in the way, and it leaves an annoying, damaging fire path for you to walk through, so you can't take a straight path to chase after him. You have to run around it.
And if you decide to run through it, he can lay down his Noxious Fumes, stun you, and then turn on you, doing even more damage.
Exactly. And the fact about his ultimate that makes him very unique is that the cooldown of it is really, really dumb, and he can use it 3 times. It doesn't do near as much damage. It still does a fair amount, but it's more the damage of like a regular ability. It does pretty much the same as his Flame Wave, except it has a bigger blast radius, it has a longer range, and he can literally spam it 3 times in a row.
And you don't have to wait the full time for it to come back.
No.
Nope.
It's got a very short cooldown, and it as long as you have at least one of them used, it'll keep rotating its cooldown. So you almost want to continuously have it on cooldown kind of thing, just to maximize your damage output. But he is fun. He's not the easiest god to master. He's very challenging to master, but he's a very safe god for newbies.
Yeah.
All right. So, Derek, what is your number 2?
Number 1,
Number 1, whatever. Fuck it.
Papa Zeus, baby, all the way.
Yeah, like I knew that one.
Yeah. That's hard. That's hard not to.
Papa Zeus.
Zeus, by my beard, this shall serve me well.
He hits really, really hard, and he's Zeus. He's good. He's great a teammate to have like in team fights. He's great to play by himself. His detonate is literally the most like annoying thing to play against. Because like I'm gonna run away. No, you're not.
Oh, also his range is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And if you've got annoying fucking allies, like what he can do is he can throw his stupid fucking
Shield.
chain lightning. No, he throws his chain lightning. It hits a minion, or hits a shield that he already threw at max range. Bounce off the shield into one of your allies, into another one of your allies, into you, and you're like, I'm like 2,000 miles away from this guy, and I got hit by it, and then he detonates.
The
and then you're dead.
more people it connects with, the more damage it does.
And God forbid you get 3 stacks on you.
Oh god. And that's what's the most horrifying thing about his ultimate, is most ultimates, you can save yourself with Sank, not Zeus. If you sank in Zeus's ult, okay, maybe you survive the damage the ult does, but now you've got 3 fucking stacks of his charge on you. And you gotta throw out a detonate charge. And whoever's fucking messaging this shit is fucking up my fucking shit. God damn it, I gotta close Facebook. So. Anyways, yes, he is frustrating.
And he's Papa Zeus.
And he's Papa Zeus. But he does have a weakness. His weakness is that he has no escape, no defensive abilities. If you get next to him, he's like, well, I can kind of ult on top of myself, but unlike Kraken, that's fast damage and a knock-up, it's slow damage, and you just gotta hope that it kills them before they kill you.
Yeah.
Though, the most satisfying thing in the world is throwing down your ult and popping sprint and then running in a circle like an idiot, watching them take all the damage.
Yeah. With Zeus, sprint or sanctuary is almost like a necessary. You need to have something that can help him get away.
Again, Blink.
But
Blink, you can't use it if you're in combat there.
True.
But Zeus's ult on a goddamn fucking Titan? Fuck that shit. I literally watched a Zeus run up and I'm like, okay, I'm about to spawn. I spawned right as he got on the Titan. He ulted it, and it died before I could walk the distance from the fucking fountain to him. And he was getting punched in the face by the Titan. He was like, I don't care, I'm Zeus.
Papa Zeus.
Fucking shit.
It hits the Titan about like 4 times, and then it's got 3 charges on it, then he detonates it. Bang.
Yeah, it's fucking shit.
Anyways, Ian, you're number 1.
My number 1, and Derek might know this. Eric will definitely know this. And if anyone's looking at my goddamn screen right now, they can probably figure it out. But it's Aphrodite.
Whore.
Aphrodite is
a whore.
She is a whore, but she is one of the most unique gods in the game in that her kit is designed to be best used with 2 people. Like, if you don't have a second person, you are severely hindered with her. With that being said, I've played her in solo lane and Conquest a couple times, and it's fun. You can do some stuff on your own, but if you are connected with someone with her kiss, all of her abilities work on both you and the other person. So basically, you're going to use your back off explosion, goes off of you and your ally. If you're using your lovebirds, the heal will go on you and your ally. Use your ultimate to make yourself invulnerable or escape, which is basically she doesn't need beads because of her ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another fun thing about her. You can just mess around with different abilities. It goes on you and your ally, which one of the most horrifying things to go up against in Joust is an Aphrodite and a Kepri together.
Oh, because they just keep each other alive so much.
They keep each other alive, and no one on their team dies because tons of heals from Aphrodite. If you're about to kill them, either Aphro will ult or Kepri will ult, and God forbid they bought fucking Sank too. And you're like, well, this is stupid. No one dies. No one dies.
So I want to point out both a really annoying pro and a really terrible con with Aphrodite. So basically, with her kiss, it links you to the other person. So not only does whatever she does, that person experiences, whatever happens to that person happens to Aphrodite. So for example, if an Aphrodite is linked to a Xbalanque, and an Apollo stuns the Xbalanque, the stun will travel through the connection and stun Aphrodite.
That's actually wrong.
It actually does work. It happened to me a couple, last week.
That has never happened to me, and I have her Diamond, and I just played her recently, so...
Well, anyway.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
You say so. How many times have I proven you wrong? Oh yeah.
Eric, I'm with Ian on this one. My buddy also has Aphrodite Diamond, and this never happened to him.
All right. Well, anyway.
I think you just had a bad experience.
I had a bad experience. Damn it.
And a stroke, and a rare case of mental retardation.
Rare?
Well, rare for most people, but common case for you. And I don't know, you probably just were in the same radius of the stun, or got hit by a separate stun or something, because that doesn't happen. But
anyway,
her biggest weakness is the fact that a couple of simple items will significantly make her shit all over.
Pestilence.
One of them, and I'm gonna pull it up here, is the relic curse. Slowing her down. God, once again, she doesn't really have an escape. With that being said, though, her movement speed is ridiculous for two reasons. One is that her kiss ability, when she's linked with someone, gives a movement speed increase. Mm-hmm. Secondly, the way you generally build her, you build her with two items that give movement speed. One is boots, but the other is... let me find it here.
Rod of Healing.
Rod of Asclepius or whatever. It gives an extra 10% movement speed. So she is moving at basically the maximum movement speed possible. And if someone is about to catch her or does use something like Curse on You, she can just use her ult to get out of that effect and then throw down some healing from that. But her ultimate weakness, other than, healing reduction of items, which there are some, is a lovely little god by the fucking name of Odin and his ring of goddamn motherfucking spears. Because here's an interesting thing. Let's skim over it. Blah, 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 blah. Enemies inside the ring have their attack speed lower. Oh, that doesn't matter. And are unable to fucking heal, which is the sole form of defense of fucking Aphrodite, is her ability to heal herself. Her sustain is unfucking real.
Mm-hmm.
Her sustain is ridiculous. No one has more sustain than Aphrodite.
No. Yes and no.
Well, okay. No. Her heal, as far as how often it's up, is insane when you have the cooldown reduction.
True.
But with that being said, if you do run into Odin, you basically just have to save your relics, because you don't need to use them all the time on Aphrodite, since you don't need beads, and get a lovely item as soon as I get back to her. Hold on.
Spectral armor?
Yes, spectral armor, which is this one right here. That when you activate a relic, you gain ghost walking for 4 seconds and can move through enemy players and enemy deployables, which basically means you can move out of his ult. But the shitty thing about it is that, let's say you're linked to someone that gets caught in the spears and you're not, you can't heal them either. So Odin is a super hard counter to Aphrodite.
Same with Surcat.
Surcat is less annoying because you can still, like, if you ult, you can ult off the healing reduction.
True.
You can't ult off the healing reduction of Odin, and it's 100%, and if he has it at max cooldown reduction, it's like every 40 seconds or some stupid shit like that.
Is. Oh,
He got nerfed though, so it went up.
it did.
It went up. It used to be at max cooldown reduction, it was 36 seconds.
It's
which
now
is
40.
stupid. But yeah, it's... So she's one of the harder ones to play just because you have to be constantly changing who you're linked to. And a lot of people will play her almost entirely as just a healer, but she can actually throw out some devastating offense, which, if you're wanting to know what that devastating offense might look like and how some awesome Aphrodite play can do it, please check out our Aphrodite trailer, which I will throw a link down to in the description. You're welcome.
So, Ian, you know how you said Afro and Capri's a terrifying combo?
Yes, it is.
I have one that can beat that.
What?
An Aphrodite support linked to a Hell.
Okay. Odin ults them both, they die.
Okay, so if there's no Odin, it's heals plus nuke equals everything dies.
Well, they actually have... Aphrodite doesn't have a lot of burst damage, but her
Hell
damage...
does.
Hell does have burst, but if Hell does combine with Aphrodite and you don't have something to stop that healing, it is horrifying. But still, like, it's just Odin ults them both, they die. Boom. GG.
Agreed. Okay, so I think we need to wrap it up here. Final thoughts for anybody?
Final thoughts is... Yeah, mages are fun. As you can see, we all have different preferences as to what we find is the best. Like, we all had 3 different ones on the list. Ones that do kind of overlap is Eric and I were both thinking about Poseidon, so go for it.
And Eric and I are both thinking about Kronos.
You both think about Kronos, but yeah, those are the funnest ones, not necessarily the easiest.
Or the best.
Or
just
the best.
Just what we like. Leave a comment if which you want us to do next. I know there's not that many classes, but just let us know which ones you want to do next, and we will be doing that one next then.
Yeah, and in case you are new and you don't know what the other classes are, they are Warrior, Guardian, Hunter, and Assassin.
AKA Warrior, Guardian, Hunter, and pieces of shit.
Pieces of shit that fuck up mages. Yes.
Just because you guys can't play as them doesn't make them pieces of shit.
I play with them pretty good, actually.
I'm actually getting pretty good on Assassins, too. But...
Oh, and fuck you if you pit Ratatasker.
Yeah, you're a dick. You're a dick.
Hey man, defend middle lane.
Yeah, just also, get wards. Get wards. For the love of fucking God, get wards, or Rattatasker's gonna murder your fucking family.
Or Loki.
Just fuck Loki. Alright. This has been our first SD Talks, and we'll see you guys next time.
Landers.
Also butt sex.
Yeah,
Much
butt sex.
butt sex.